everyone, it's Justine with another video. So a couple of announcements first. I corrected your your conclusion and introduction assignments. It's been brought to my attention that a lot of you submitted some of your introduction paragraph homework after the mix-up with the dates. Like, I emailed you and told you that I forgot, I put the wrong date, and some of you submitted late. I'm sorry I didn't correct your late submissions. As you know, this is a lot of work, and I'm trying my best to keep up with everything. Every day I spend about 5 hours making a lesson for you. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot when you get it, but everything takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And I promise you, I am trying my best. And I know you are trying your best. But I'm not perfect. And I've never done this before. None of your teachers have ever done this before. And we are all learning. We're learning how to do this just like you are. So I'm sorry if I didn't correct your introduction paragraph. But most of you did really, really well with your assignments. I was super impressed. The thing that I saw the most was that you needed to make each paragraph just a little bit longer, especially the conclusion paragraph. This part that in the middle of the conclusion paragraph, that is the summary, that should be 3 sentences. So you should have your paraphrase of your thesis statement, that is 1 sentence, and then your conclusion summary should be about 3 more sentences, and then your clincher. So really your conclusion should be around 4 or 5 sentences. Okay, what else? I scheduled a virtual classroom meeting for Tuesday at noon. This is an opportunity, if you want, to speak to me directly and ask me any last-minute questions about your essay that you want. It'll be my first time using the virtual classroom, but I did a little bit of training on it today, so I hope it is not too horrible, but I can't wait to see all of your faces. Finally, I have a guest today. This is my other cat. Her name is Minu. She is my oldest kitty. She was just sleeping, so she's super mad that I picked her up, but I love her so much, and we have been cuddling in the quarantine a lot. Okay, so for today's lesson, we're doing some grammar, and you will need the package that I gave you right before the school closed that has all the grammar exercises in it, ones that look like this. So you need to get that and a pen and a paper to make notes if you want. Today we are doing future tenses. Okay, so pause and go get your paper that you need. Okay, hopefully you're back. Okay, the simple future. I find that students are generally really good at using the simple future. It doesn't seem to be a problem, very much like the simple past. It's quite an easy tense to use, I think. Now, the simple future has 2 different possibilities that you can use. You can use will, or you can use going to. And we will talk about the differences in will and going to. But before I talk about the differences, I just want to say that mostly English people kind of use them interchangeably, meaning we use them both for kind of the same things. But there are lots of grammar rules that tell us that when we use will and when we use going to. So I will tell you those rules. Okay, so first we're going to talk about will. Now, let me move my chair. Okay, first let me talk about will. Will is a classic modal verb. We will study modal verbs a little bit later, but will is a classic modal verb in that what you need to do with will is you use the base form of the main verb right after. So it will be will go, or will be, or will see, or will walk. So always we have our modal verb, which is will, and then we have the base form of the main verb you want to use. Do not put the verb to be in here. This is something that some students do with modal verbs. They just always want to use a verb to be no matter what. You don't need a verb to be unless the verb to be is your main verb. But other than that, it's just will plus the main verb in the base form. That's it. And this is the same for every pronoun. So I will go, you will go, he, she, it will go, they will go, blah, blah, blah. So you use all of them. They are the same. So let's see. I'm going to say tonight. I think I will watch a movie. Okay, so tonight I think I will watch a movie. So there's a couple things you should know about this sentence. First of all, we used a time word right here with tonight. You don't have to do this, but often in English, we like to use both a time word and the tense together to be really sure that the listener understands what time we are talking about. Okay, and then we have this piece of language. I think this piece of language is called a hedging term. I'll write that here. Hedging means when you want to take something that is 100% sure and make it less sure. So instead of saying, tonight I will watch a movie, which feels like 100%, we often use will with things that are not 100%, like plans that are maybe plans. So we often use lots of hedging words with will to kind of communicate that these are not things that we are 100% sure are going to happen. So we say, I think I will watch a movie. Sometimes we say, maybe I'll watch a movie. Or we can say, tonight I will watch a movie, but I don't know. So all like maybe, I think, I don't know are all hedging terms. They are all terms that we use to make our verb seem less 100%. Okay, so right now in your notebook, I want you to put this sentence in the negative, make a yes/no question and a WH question. So please pause while you do this, and then we will look at the answers together. Okay, so negative, tonight I won't watch a movie. So will not that's the wrong word. Conjugate? No, wrong word. Contracts. There we go. Will not contracts to make won't. And in an earlier video, we talked about the pronunciation for W, for were, and it's the same pronunciation for won't. Make sure you are opening your mouth for the O sound. Won't. So tonight, I won't watch a movie. So it's subject, will not, plus base form of the verb watch. Okay. So here, you just take the subject and the verb closest to the subject always, and you switch them. So, will you watch a movie tonight? And so we have our subject and our verb, and we switched them. Remember to switch the pronoun to you, because you are not asking yourself, even though maybe some of you are living alone right now and you are talking to yourself. I know I am talking to myself a little bit, and to my cats. Okay. WH words. So maybe I would ask, what will you watch tonight? Okay, so that is the form of the simple future for will. But then why do we use will? Like, what are the specific situations? Very much like the present simple, will and going to have many specific situations where we use them. So let's take a look at some of those. Okay, so the first one is prediction with no, this is number one, with no evidence. Prediction with no evidence. Okay, so we know that we learned the word predict when we talked about our reading skills. Predict is when you use the information in the present to make a guess about the future. Now, but a prediction with no evidence means that nothing in the present is giving us any clues about the future. We are just making like a guess based on nothing. So if I look outside, I'm looking outside right now, and it's cloudy, but I still see some blue sky. And if I say, I think it will rain tonight, but there is blue sky outside, I have no evidence to make this claim. So if you have no evidence, but you are making a prediction about the future, you can use will. I think it will rain tonight. Another modal verb that we often use when we are making predictions with no evidence is might. Might is like very low possibility. Okay. So number one, prediction with no evidence. All right. Number two, instant decisions. Okay, instant decisions. So I want you to imagine you are at a restaurant and you are eating some Thai food from Thailand. And you are sitting at the table and you have a waiter, and the waiter is asking for your order. And you say, can I please have some pad Thai? And the waiter asks you, would you like chicken, beef, or shrimp with your pad Thai? In this moment, you need to make a quick decision, like right now. You have to make a decision in this second. You don't have time. You can't say to the waiter, can you please come back in 10 minutes while I decide? You're going to make a quick, instant decision. So you'll say something like, I'll have beef, please. I'll is I will together. And we say that by opening our mouth on the I, I'll. And that helps us make room for the la part, I'll. Okay. So I'll have beef, please. So I'm making an instant decision. So if somebody says, oh, I'm really hot in this room, you say, oh, I'll open a window. Instant decision. Okay. Using will is polite. It's one of our polite words, like would. Would and will are both very polite. So if you ask, like, will you pass me the sugar, please? It's the same as saying, can you, would you? It's all kind of the same polite language. Okay. Prediction with no evidence, instant decisions, polite Finally, strangely, we use will when we are making promises. Do you know what a promise is? A promise is when you say you will do something for somebody and you have to 100% do it. It means like you are making a commitment to do this thing. There is a very famous song by Whitney Houston from the 1990s, probably before some of you were born, that's called I Will Always Love You. And there is the use of will for promises in so many songs, because when we are in love, we like to promise things to the other person, like, I will love you forever, I'll never leave you, I will give you the world, I will make all your dreams come true. So we use will. You hear will for promises a lot in English music. So an exercise you can do is actually try and think of some songs that use will as a promise. So here you'll notice too that we have the word always between the modal verb and the main verb. So if you want to use something that's like a qualifier, like always, sometimes, never, you put them between the modal verb and the main verb. Okay. So predictions with no evidence, instant decisions, politeness, promises. These are all the places that we generally use will. And finally, maybe the most common reason for using will, 5 is unsure plans. Like we saw in my example before, like tonight, I think I'll watch a movie. I'm not sure. It's not a definite plan. It's like something I think I might do. But because I am home alone, I think it's actually more definite than that. I think I will definitely watch a movie, or I'm going to definitely watch a movie. But right now, if you have unsure plans, and that's when you use words like maybe, I think, I don't know. You hear English people say this a lot at the end of a sentence. Like, I think tonight I'll watch a movie, but I don't know. And so, these are all ways of saying, like, this is not a sure or 100% plan. Okay, cool. So, take your exercise page. And you are going to go to... it says exercise 1, future tense. And there are two exercises for using will. So I want you to, what am I doing? I want you to pause and do this, please, while I prepare the board. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at the answers to this. And I will explain like the reasons why for each one. Okay. Number 1, the house is dirty. I will clean it on Monday. So this is both a promise and also probably an instant decision. Like looking around, oh, the house is dirty. I'll clean it on Monday. Okay. Will you cook on Tuesday, please? This is being polite. Okay. 3, it looks like the washer is broken. I will ask a repairman to come on Wednesday. Okay, so this could either be a plan, this could be a promise, or this could be an instant decision, or all of them. Okay. 4, okay then, our group will meet on Thursday. So this seems like a plan to me. 5, Helga, will you hike with us on Friday? So this is another request, like it's polite. Okay, 6, if necessary, we will carry the supplies in our car on Saturday. So this is a plan. 7, John and Wes, will you read to the children on Sunday? So this is also a polite request. Okay, exercise 2. I guess I will ride the bus to save gas. You can see here with the I guess, like that's the same as I don't know, or maybe, or I think. The cookies are gone. Will you buy some, please? This is a polite request. 3, listen team, we will win the trophy this year. So this is like a promise, but you can't be sure about this. Okay. 4, everyone is hungry. I will get some donuts for breakfast. So this seems like an instant decision. 5, Peter, will you fix the porch tomorrow? So this is polite. 6, Becky, will you go to Alaska with us this summer? Again, a polite request. And 7, if we take a trip, we will put Barkley in a kennel. So this sounds like a plan. So you can see with some of these plans that some of them sound indefinite, but also some of them sound definite. And this is where it becomes confusing. Like I said, when we are talking about plans, sometimes English people use will and going to like in the same way. So I can say, tomorrow I'll go for a walk. Or I can say, tomorrow I'm going for a walk. It's the same. Okay. So speaking of going to, let's take a look. Okay. So, going to is basically the exact same format as the present continuous. The present continuous is subject plus verb to be plus verb plus ing. That's the present continuous. Now, for the future tense, we generally here use the verb go. So, I am, that's a verb to be, going to, bleh. And sometimes we say going to and there is a noun. And sometimes we say going to and there is a verb in the infinitive. So same structure as the present continuous. So we can say, tonight, I'm going to cook a delicious dinner. Tonight, I'm going to cook a delicious dinner. So I have, again, same, I have a future word here. I have my subject, my verb to be, and they are conjugated and contracted. And then I have my verb going. Now here, because the thing I am going to do is an action, not a place, so I use the infinitive form of this verb after to. So tonight I'm going to cook a delicious dinner. Now, I can replace this verb with a noun. So I can say, tonight I'm going to my friend's house. So we still use the preposition to. It just depends if tonight you're going to do an action or tonight you're going to go do a thing, or going to a place. Okay, so pause for 1 second while you put this sentence in the negative, the yes, no, and the WH form. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you wrote those all down. So here we make it negative by saying, I'm not going to cook. I'm not going to cook. So between the verb to be and the and going to, we add not. Okay. Now, our subject, the verb closest to our subject is the verb to be. So those are the two we will switch. So, are you going to cook a delicious dinner tonight? Okay. And what are you going to cook? Here you can also ask, when are you going to cook dinner tonight? What exactly are you going to cook for dinner tonight? Okay, so this is the format for going to, but I find most students are actually super good at this tense. Do you feel comfortable using this tense? I find most level 7 students do. Okay, but let's talk about why. Why do we use going to compared to will? All right. Give me a second. I really miss big whiteboards. Okay, so we learned a little bit that the verb, the use of will is usually like uncertain plans. Now, going to is usually the opposite. Number 1, certain plans. Or plans that, as far as you know, are 100% going to happen. So if I use going to and I say, tonight I'm going to watch a movie, this is like definite. Like this is something I have strong plans to do. Tonight I'm going to watch a movie. So you will notice I don't use words like maybe or I don't know or I think, because this is a more definite plan. Because of this, because we use going to with like certain plans, we also tend to use them for like things that are in your schedule or like meetings or appointments. So you'll say, I'm going to the doctor's at 3:00 on Wednesday, because this is like a definite plan. It is in your schedule. Or if you have a plan with a person, so tonight I'm going to see a movie with my best friend. This is a definite plan that you two made together, and it's like most likely going to happen. Now you have to remember, we cannot always predict the future, but we do our best when we use a schedule and we make meetings and we make appointments. This is our way of trying to predict the future. Okay, talking about predictions, predictions with evidence. So when we talked about will, we talked about sometimes we use will when we're just making a guess about the future, but nothing in the present is helping us with this guess. We use going to when we have evidence in the present to help us make a guess about the future. Now, since I made the beginning of the video, now when I look outside, you can see that it's quite cloudy and gray. So now when I look outside, I can make a prediction that I think it will rain. Oh, no. I think it's going to rain tonight. In fact, I can still use I think because it's a prediction, but I have a lot more evidence now. Like, it looks really cloudy and gray. So I think it's going to rain tonight because it's cloudy. So the cloudy is the evidence. Okay, so these are really like our main reasons for using going to. Having certain plans, including things in your schedule, meetings, appointments, arrangements with other people, or predictions with evidence, where you use evidence from your present to make a prediction about the future. So, for example, if you did not study for a test, you can say, I think I'm going to fail the test. You have evidence in the present, you did not study, that you kind of can guess what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so in your book again, okay, so turn the page. So this is Will on exercise 1. Turn the page and it says exercise 3 and exercise 4. And exercise 3 and exercise 4 are both using going to as a practice. And as you do this exercise, try and guess what kind of reason why you are using going to. All right, so pause and do this. Okay, so here we go. Here are the answers. Number 1, Mrs. Garrison is going to teach the class next year. So this sounds like it is definitely happening. You will also notice that the verb to be always agrees with the subject. So Miss Garrison is, because it's a she. Okay, the soldiers are going to march for 3 hours. 3, the sorority sisters are going to paint the house blue on Saturday. 4, Mom and I are going to rake the yard tomorrow. I am going to ski in Colorado this winter. 6, Eduardo is going to marry Carmen in June. 7, the baseball team is going to travel to Florida for the playoffs. So these are all certain plans. Okay. Exercise 4, number 1. Drew and I are going to run in the race next week. The department store is going to have a sale. The nurse is going to bandage Bobby's leg. Mr. and Mrs. Franklin are going to buy a houseboat. We are going to grow grapes to make wine. Tony and David are going to name the baby Melinda. The store owner is going to hire an accountant to do her taxes. Okay, so hopefully this will give you an idea. Basically, if it's a certain plan, you use going to. Everything else, promises, instant decisions, politeness, uncertain plans, predictions about the future with no evidence, you use going to. But again, English people use both. It's just the way we are. Okay, so those are the simple tenses for the future. But I just want to look really quickly at the future continuous. All right, hold on. Now, in this moment, we can just review quickly what is true about all continuous tenses. So we learned when we when we learned about the present continuous and the past continuous, we learned that we use continuous tenses for long actions, not short actions. But if it is a state verb, it must always be in the simple form. Okay. Future continuous. Continuous. Okay. Okay, I will be. Nope, let's use a different verb. Don't write that down. Okay, so here's an example of the future continuous. So if you remember, continuous tenses are always the same. It is the subject. So here our subject is I. And then we have the verb to be in the tense we are discussing. So when we use the present continuous, the verb to be is in the present. I am. When we use the past continuous, the verb to be is in the past. I was. And when we use the future continuous, the verb to be will be in the simple future. And our simple futures are will and going to. So you're going to put the verb to be in either will or going to. So I will be. And then we need our main verb plus ing. So it's a little confusing. So subject plus verb to be in the simple future plus verb ing. And main verb ing is how we understand that it is a long action. So traveling is generally a long action, like you go traveling for a period of time. Okay, I know it might feel tricky, but I want you to try to put it in the negative in a yes/no question and a WH question. Oh yeah, pause it. Pause and do it. Okay, so next year, and then we're going to take this and make it negative. So in the same way we do in the simple, we're going to make the verb to be in the future negative. So I won't be traveling. Okay. Now, same as everything else, you take the subject and the verb that is closest to the subject and you switch them. So, will you be traveling next year? Okay, and then our WH is the same as this. We just use a WH word before. So usually with traveling, it's where or when. So where will you be traveling next year? Okay. So I'm not going to spend a lot more time on this. Basically, all you need to know is if you want to make a verb feel like it is a long action in the future, then we have to use the future continuous. Other than that, it's like all the same reasons as you use the simple. So we use will for predictions and for instant decisions and all of those things. But if it's a long action, you put it in the continuous. If you have a definite plan, we use going to, but you put it in the continuous because it's a long action. Okay. I'm not super worried about this. On your final exam, there's maybe one question or two questions about the future continuous. Like, it's not a big deal. But I want you to try it. So this is the exercise we just did with going to. Turn the page and it says exercise 12, review of the future progressive tense. That's another word for the future continuous. And I want you to try and do this exercise. It's asking you to put the correct form of the verb in parentheses in the future progressive tense. So pause, try this out, and then I will check your answers. Okay, so here we go. Jeremy and Tyler are going to be graduating. Or Jeremy and Tyler will be graduating. But I'm going to say are going to be graduating because it's a more definite plan. This is something that is happening 100%. Okay. Tyler, hey Jeremy, how's it going? Jeremy, hi Ty, good, how about you? Tyler, pretty good. I'm looking for a new swimsuit. I'm going to be working as a lifeguard at the pool this summer. So we're using going to in this place because it's a definite plan. Okay. Jeremy, that's cool. I don't have a job yet. My mom told me this store is going to be hiring a cashier soon. I guess I will apply there. So even in that little sentence, I guess I will apply, we have a hedging word like guess, and we have will because he's not sure. Okay. Tyler, yeah, you should. Maybe you'll get a discount. Plus, I bet a lot of girls will be shopping here this summer. So he doesn't know this for sure, and he doesn't have any evidence, so he uses will. Jeremy, true, I hadn't thought about that. What hours are you going to be working at the pool? Tyler, afternoons from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So are you going to be working at the pool? What hours? This is something that's in a schedule, so it's definite. So we are going to use going to. Okay. Jeremy, perfect. I bet I know what you will be doing all morning. Sleeping, right? So the words I bet are really similar to I think and maybe. We say this when we are making a guess. So because he is making a guess, he uses will. Okay. Tyler, maybe not all morning. I have some books to read before college starts in the fall. I think I will be reading for a couple hours every day before I go to work. So we have I think, so this is not a definite plan. So we use will. Jeremy, good idea. What are you going to be majoring in college? Definite plan. Tyler, I'm not quite sure. I think I will be majoring. So again, I think I will be majoring in chemistry or biology. What about you? Jeremy, I'm going to be studying exercise science. Definite plan. Eventually, I think I will be training to become a physical therapist. He doesn't know. Prediction about the future. Tyler, wow, we'd better enjoy the summer. In the fall, we are going to be doing a lot of hard work. Well, I hope you get the job. Thanks. Me too. See you later. Okay, so those are our future tenses. I hope you enjoyed this. You have no homework tonight. I just want you to work on your essay outline. Hopefully I will have those corrected tomorrow, so you have the whole weekend to work on your essay. Again, on Tuesday, we have a virtual classroom, just like open meeting where you guys can ask me questions. You can also email me. I will be pretty busy this weekend because it's Easter, but I will be trying to check the emails every day for questions about the essay. Okay, everybody, have a great day, and I will see you on Tuesday.